Hello. NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be used to protect Microsoft 365 data in Exchange Online, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online and OneDrive for Business. If you've not watched the video on how to create a Microsoft 365 backup job, I'll link to it here. In this video, I will show you how to use an existing Microsoft 365 backup to create a backup copy job. You can use this feature to implement the 3-2-1 backup strategy and avoid a single point of failure. With NAKIVO Backup and Replication, you can store Microsoft 365 copies in off-site locations, public or private clouds, deduplication appliances and other targets. In this video, I show you how to create backup copies for Microsoft 365 data in NAKIVO Backup and Replication. First, I'll copy backup data to an on-premises storage repository and then send another copy to Azure Blob Storage. To start, go to Data Protection and find an existing backup job for Microsoft 365. Then click the plus and choose Backup Copy. The new Backup Copy job wizard opens. At the Backup step, I select the source backup job, which is the backup job to copy, and click Next. At the Destination step, I select the target repository for the backup data copy. I choose the local repository this time and click Next. At the Schedule step, I have options to set a schedule for the new backup copy job. I can set this backup copy job to run manually on demand or set custom schedules to automate it. Here I can choose the time zone for the backup job, name the schedule, set weekly, monthly, yearly and periodic runs. Also, I can set this job to run after another job. The solution enables me to set the start and end times for a backup job, choose the date for the schedule to come into effect, and also configure the data retention period upon the job completion. The last option to configure here is immutability. You can make backup copies immutable for a specific number of days. Immutability protects backups from change or deletion throughout the set period, enhancing ransomware protection and ensuring data recoverability even if a new ransomware infection hits your backup repositories. Here I can also add another schedule in case more flexibility is required, and check the calendar to get a bird's-eye view of data protection activities. This allows me to manage job schedules efficiently and avoid overlaps. Click Next. At the Options step, I can first configure the job options such as name and priority. 1 is the highest priority for a backup job. NAKIVO Backup and Replication transporters prioritize jobs with higher priority while processing a jobs queue. Next, enabling network acceleration means that the solution uses compression and traffic reduction techniques to speed up data transfer and cut backup windows. This option is especially useful if you backup data over WAN or slow LAN connections. As you can see here, the backup encryption option is unavailable in this case. This is because my source backup is already encrypted. This means that both my backup data and backup copies will be stored in encrypted format in the repositories. However, if my source backup was not encrypted, I would have the ability to enable encryption for my backup copies stored in the cloud, in local repositories and on tape. I then come to the full backup settings. If the destination repository for a backup job is set to incremental with full backups, this option can be specified. The Create Full Backup option settings specify how often I need to run the full backup. The Full Backup mode selection specifies how to create the full backup. You can choose between the Synthetic Full and Active Full Backup. The Synthetic Full option means that NAKIVO Backup and Replication first performs an incremental backup transferring only the data that changed since the last backup. Then, the solution transforms the available data into a full backup file. This approach is usually faster than the active full backup. Also, synthetic full backups need less data transferred, which means offloading the network and data stores running your production VMs. The active full backup selected means that NAKIVO Backup and Replication reads all data from the source and then transfers it to the backup repository. If a full backup fails, create a full backup on the next job run. Selecting this option sets the next job run to create a full backup in case the current job run doesn't complete the workflow for some reason. Also, I can choose to send job run reports to a specific email. If the Send Job Run Reports to option is grayed out, I can switch to configuration from here. I just need point the cursor at the option and go to click to configure in the pop-up. The job run report will include all steps and notifications I already configured in this backup copy job. I can set custom pre- and post scripts to execute before the backup copy job begins and after it has completed. To run the script before NAKIVO Backup and Replication starts copying the backups, I can first place the script file on the machine where the directory is installed. Then, I mark the Run Local Pre-Job Script checkbox, click the Settings link and, in the pop-up dialog box, specify the local path to the script along with parameters. In the data transfer section of this step, I can specify transporter load and configure bandwidth throttling. Limiting transporter load means setting the maximum quantity of concurrent tasks this transporter should complete for the job. The default number is 3 while the maximum is 6 concurrent tasks. With the bandwidth throttling configuration, I can regulate the speed of data transfer over the network. I set this option to enabled and then click the settings link nearby. This opens the job bandwidth rules pop-up that displays the list of available rules. Currently, I have no rules available, so I can click Create New Rule. For example, if I have 20 GB of bandwidth, I can throttle bandwidth to 10, name the rule and click Save. The newly created rule is now displayed on the list and enabled for this backup copy job. I can edit, disable or remove the rule from here if necessary. Enabling the bottleneck detection setting means that NAKIVO Backup and Replication uses transporters engaged in the job to collect and record additional information to logs during data transfer. Then, that information is used to detect bottlenecks. Note that this option is available only if the disk destination type was chosen at the destination step. Once the options are configured, I can click Finish to complete the job creation or Finish and Run to run the job right after the creation is complete. This is how you can run the backup copy job to the on-premises repository. To create the backup copy job to Azure Blob Storage, just complete the same steps. I already have the Azure Blob Storage configured and added to the NAKIVO Backup and Replication inventory, so I can go to the destination step and change the backup destination from the local repository to my Azure Blob Storage. Also, I can run a backup copy to tape by specifying the destination type as tape instead of disk at this step. The solution can run backup copies from a backup repository to a device or a media pool of choice. NAKIVO Backup and Replication supports tape cartridges and virtual tape libraries or VTLs. Then, I go to the Schedule step where I can reuse the settings from the on-premises backup copy job configured earlier. The same works for options. I can now click Finish to complete creating the job for backup copy to Azure Blob Storage. Thanks for watching. You can also download a free trial version of the solution using the link in the description below. Install NAKIVO Backup and Replication, get access to the full feature set for 15 days and try backing up your data to multiple on-site, off-site and cloud destinations with backup copy jobs. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to catch new uploads.